What's up everyone, this is CyberKnight, and today I have my top 10 best cards from Flames of Destruction for you guys. So yeah, I thought I would do kind of a fun top 10 list for this set, basically just talking about the cards that I think are the best from this, and also I think that are going to be the most useful and a lot of people are going to want to get from this set. So remember, this is kind of a fun video talking about what I just believe are the best cards, and if you agree, great. If you do disagree, let me know down in the comments which cards you guys are most excited about, because it's actually kind of hard to do a top 10 list on this set. I've actually been looking forward to quite a few cards on this too. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started, because we got quite a few cards to talk about. Alright, so starting off with number 10, we have Called by the Grave. Yeah, this card is honestly one of the best cards of the set. The only reason I didn't put it higher on the list is because, well, you can already get it right now in the Extreme Force Special Edition. So yeah, it was one of the preview cards, so you can get one early from that. So that's the reason I was thinking, you know what, it probably shouldn't be too high on the list, but, I mean, it's still one of the best cards of the set. It doesn't matter, you know, how you talk about it or what, it's still one of the best cards of the set. And it's actually really cheap to get, too. I mean, it's going to be a common in Flames of Destruction. So, it's going to be really easy for a lot of people to get this card. If you didn't get the super rare, there you go. You have another option, which should be a lot easier to get. And, I mean, it's just one of the best cards of the set because it can counter hand traps. I mean, and I feel like that's what everyone wants, right? We all want a card to go against hand traps, whether it is like Ash Blossom or Ghost Ogre or whatever out there. You want a card that you can use against them, and that's what this does. So I just really like that this is a card that can do that. It is a common in this set too, so I feel like that kind of is funny how it's going to be able to help out budget players because of that too, because yeah, you get a common card that can counter these secret rare cards a lot of people are spending a lot of money for. So I just kind of find that to be a little bit funny, but it's still one of the best cards of the set. And again, if it wasn't, you know, in the Extreme Force Special Edition, which I'm glad it is because we were able to get super rare because of that, then it would be higher on this list because honestly, it just is one of the best cards of the set, just for that countering effect. So it will definitely come in handy, and if you didn't get one, you know, from the special edition, you have another option. So there you go. And then next up for number 9, we have Waking the Dragon. So yes, this card is actually really interesting. I hope I have the right name as well, because I've heard like 3 different translated names. I haven't seen this card in English yet, you know, from the packs and the openings that have been leaked. But yeah, I believe it's supposed to be a common in this set, and it's one that a lot of people have really overlooked, because what this card can do is that when it's set on your side of the field and your opponent destroys it or banishes it by their card effect, then you're able to special summon a monster from your deck or extra deck to your side of the field. Think about that. Just think about the possibilities. So first off, you can bluff your opponent with this card because they're really going to think about if they're going to use like Twin Twisters or something, they might not want to blow up your back row cards because you could have this card right there, and if they destroy it, there you go. Just a free monster from it from your deck or extra deck. And of course, talking with the extra deck cards, just think of the possibilities with that. I mean, just about with any deck out there, if you're running this card, you could throw in like a Natria Beast, you know, and instantly bring that out. Natria Exterio as well. I've heard a lot of people talk about that one because it's a harder to bring out monster. It's a fusion that Natrias have that's really good, and you could instantly bring it out with this card. You could also even bring out Omega. I mean, there's just so many possibilities with this too. And I've also already heard about another combo where you could use this with artifacts if you wanted to, and Artifact Durandal, which is their, you know, Exceed monster they have, use its effect to help you also get rid of this card. I just think it's something that could be really interesting, and I really like too how it can bluff your opponent, because again, if they think you have this card, they know it, or they already destroyed one or something, they definitely don't want to destroy your back row then with like Twin Twisters or any of the many ways to destroy your spells and traps if you have this card there, because yeah, that's definitely going to mess them up, because any free monster you can bring out with this is going to be awesome. And then for number 8, we have Vampire Sucker. Yeah, I remember when this card was first revealed, and I was thinking, oh, what were they thinking? Like, seriously, this is some of the best zombie support I think we've ever had in the game, honestly. I don't even feel like I'm overhyping this card. Because basically, all you need is 2 zombie monsters, link them into it. It's a link 2 monster, so that's not a problem at all. And if you know how zombies work, being able to swarm the field and everything and get back from the graveyard to the field, yeah, you can easily bring this card out. And then what this card does is, first off, it makes it so that you contribute your opponent's monsters that are zombies. Also, it is able to revive your opponent's monsters, and then when it revives one of their monsters to their side of the field, it becomes a zombie monster in defense position. And then not only that too, its last effect is that if a zombie monster is special summoned from the graveyard, you get to draw a card. So just think about that for a second. Just think about zombies and this card. Alright? First off, it's making it so different zombie decks have like their own sort of Lair of Darkness structure deck tributing effect, which is really interesting because if you combo this with Zombie World, which is, again, kind of like Lair of Darkness, how it changes all the monsters on the field to dark monsters, Zombie World changes all the monsters on the field to zombies. Okay, you activate Zombie World with this card, all the monsters are zombies, then you can just tribute your opponent's monsters for stronger zombie monsters if you want to. Also, you're able to special summon monsters to your opponent's field, which then later you could tribute them. And then because a zombie monster was special summoned, you get to draw a card from it. Yeah, that's what this card could do. I mean, seriously, I don't know what they were thinking about. It is insane. Like, this is honestly just one of the craziest Link monsters I think I've seen for the game so far. And, yeah, zombies definitely got a very powerful Link monster out of this set, too. So, I would definitely look into this. And like I said, you combo this with Zombie World, there you go. I mean, it really does remind me of, like, the Lair of Darkness structure deck, just with zombies this time. And it's an awesome card, too. And then, of course, for number 7, we have Red Reboot. This is another card too, by the way, where I don't have an English image of this, so I'm not really sure if that's the translated name, official translated name, or not. So we're going to go with that. Anyway, it's another card that is low rarity from this. I believe it's supposed to be a common in this set, and it just has a lot of interesting ideas behind it. Because first off, when you're using this card, if your opponent activates a trap card, you can use this card to negate that trap card. Your opponent then is able to search for a trap card from the deck and set it to their side of the field, but also for the rest of that turn, they can't use any trap cards. And that's what's really interesting about this, because just think about a lot of different builds out there, a lot of different decks you could go against. If it's something that uses a lot of trap cards and you're activating this card, then you can really shut them down. It could be a card that could really work out with something that can OTK your opponent. Like, let's say, for example, you're running Cyber Dragons. You have Cyber and Dragon Power Bond, use that, you have a really powerful monster, you're about to run over your opponent and win the game. Well, if you can use a card like this, if they're using trap card, you can counter that and make it so then for that turn they can't use trap cards. So then they don't have an option around your Cyber End Dragon, for that example. Also, this is a card, too, that can really hurt Paleozoics, because you guys know how Paleozoics use a bunch of trap cards, that's how they bring out their monsters. There you go. That could just shut them down completely. And also, too, since this is a counter trap card, I was thinking about using this even with counter fairies. I mean, this could be a great option for them as well. And also, because it can be used as a hand trap, you have to pay half your life points, you can activate this card from your hands. Yeah, using that with Ariadne, then you don't have to pay the life points. Could be pretty scary. So definitely one that you want to look at, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to try out. And now for number 6, I have Nightmare Goblin. Yeah, you guys knew we would have some nightmares on this list. I mean, they have to be. They're like some of the best Link monsters we've seen. But anyway, Nightmare Goblin is just one that I feel like is more notable because it's basically a Gem Knight Seraphonite as a Link monster. And it's a lot easier to use in every deck because it's a Link monster. You just need 2 different monsters with different names to Link summon into it. There you go. You got Seraphonite then, basically. And also, too, the monsters that are co-linked to this card are unaffected by card effects. So you get that extra normal summon, and also you get a Link monster that can protect your other monsters. That's really good. I mean, obviously, that is just an insane card to be able to use. And it's one that I think just about every extra deck is going to at least have one of this card in there, too. And I gotta say, I'm pretty thankful to see that this card is at least an ultra rare. I was really afraid it would be another secret rare, because a lot of the nightmares are actually secret rares in this set. But at least with this one, it's an ultra rare, and it's one you will definitely want to pick up. Because, like I said, getting that extra normal summon for any deck out there is amazing, obviously. I mean, think about, more normal summons, more summonings means more Link monsters. And there you go, or more any kind of summoning, honestly. But basically, that means more Link summoning, which, with all these different archetypes these days, yeah, that is just amazing. And like I said, I mean, it is the Link monster equivalent of Seraphonite, and even easier to use. And now for number 5, we have Altergeist Multifaker. Yeah, this is another card you guys knew would be on this list. I almost made it a lot higher on the list, just because this card makes it so now Altergeists are going to be competitive. Like, seriously, we're going to see a lot more Altergeists in the meta, and this card just makes everything work for them. It's just a game changer for them, honestly, because when you activate a trap card, you're able to special summon this card. Also, when it's special summoned, you are able to get out another Altergeist. So, again, what did I say about Nightmare Goblin? More monsters you get on the field, we already know, more Link monsters you're going to be able to bring out. So, with this card, you can just easily get more monsters out there for Altergeist, and of course, it doesn't negate the effect of the one you're special summoning either with this card's effects. So you're getting more effects and getting more monsters out there to Link summon with. I mean, again, it is a huge game changer for them. And what's great too is that its effects already work out with some of the existing Altergeists. I mean, you can already use this with Marionetter as well as Manifestation, and then just special summon it. So yeah, like I said, it's just a card that will help you get more Altergeist monsters out there and just more Link monsters. Now moving on to number 4, we have Nightmare Corrupt Ibli. Yeah, I was a little bummed out when I saw this card is going to be a secret rare. I mean, it's going to look cool, But this card basically works in so many different decks that I was hoping it would be a lot easier to get. It's the only effect monster that we have for Nightmares, at least at the time of this video. And this card can work with just about any deck out there. If you're running Link monsters, this is a card you can throw in your deck, because basically it is a monster that is also a Monster Reborn for Link monsters, because when you summon this, you're able to revive a Link monster, which obviously for any deck out there, that's actually pretty insane what you can set up with that. Also, it's a Cyverse monster as well, so this, if that wasn't enough, just with its own effect being able to revive a Link monster to help out Cyverse, being also a Cyverse monster, you have a lot of searching abilities from that too, so it works really great with them. And it works with anything that involves Link monsters. I mean, honestly, this is a card you can throw it in at 1 with just about any deck out there. If you're relying on Link monsters, there you go. You have a Monster Reborn for them, get them on your side of the field, then Link summon after that. So this card just has a lot of different ideas behind it. It's not just for Nightmares. It can work for just about any deck out there. And yeah, I mean, it's another one. I feel like a lot of people are already hyped up about it. But seriously, this is one of the main cards I want just because just the different decks you can use it with. And like I said, I definitely want to try it out with Cyverse, especially on that, because it being a Cyverse type monster as well is definitely going to help out. Okay, now we're to the top 3. So the first one we have is Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. Yeah, I heard you guys like hand traps, right? I'm pretty sure Konami said that you would really like a lot more hand traps, so that's the reason this set has one too. This one, though, is dealing with the graveyard, so it's a little bit different from the others, and I would say because of that, it's probably one of the strongest too, because with this card, you're able to negate effects that make it so that you're adding cards from the graveyard to your, hand, deck, or extra deck. You also can negate special summons from the graveyard, and then also you can also negate effects that banish a card from the graveyard. So just think of the strategies right there. I mean, it's a hand trap that can negate Destrudo. It can negate Fairy Tale Snow. It can negate Monster Reborn. I mean, just so many options out there. So it can negate so many different cards that are really great in the meta right now. So that just gives you a variety of options right there. And of course, like I said, Monster Reborn, that kind of, I guess that's the reason why they give us back Monster Reborn, right? It's like, here, you can have it back. Everyone rejoiced. All right, we also give you a counter to stop people from using Monster Reborn. Then everyone cried. That's basically how it worked on this. And yes, of course, just like the others, it's a secret rare. And also, what I think is probably the funniest about this card is that, Called by the Grave is made to negate these hand trap cards, right? And yes, it can negate this card. But also this card can negate Called by the Grave. So yes, we got a card that can negate a lot of these hand traps, but they also got a hand trap that can negate that. So I just can't wait to see that, at different tournaments and stuff too, where, it's like, yes, I can get rid of Ash Blossom. Oh crap, now they are using this one to negate, my Called by the Grave. It's a great card, obviously. Again, I'm not a fan of hand traps, but I mean, it's still obviously one of the best cards of the set. And it'll probably be one of the pricier ones too, because again, secret rare, like I said, and just how it can hurt so many different decks out there, including zombies too. We talk about zombies with Vampire Sucker. Yes, this card can destroy them pretty easily too. And yeah, just another hand trap for us. I'm kind of hoping though, maybe it's the last one. Am I the only one? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a baby about this. You guys can agree or disagree on that too. Let me know down in the comments, but that's just how I feel. All right, now we're at number 2 with Infinite Transience. Yes, this card. I hope you guys haven't forgot about this one, because it's basically Effect Failure as a trap card. I mean, that's just the best way to summarize this card, because when it is on your side of the field, you have it set, you can activate it, and then negate one of your opponent's monster's effects. Also, too, when it is activated in this way, then you're able to negate the effects of spells and trap cards in the same column. So it even has a way to negate spells and traps. But here's the really fun part of this card's effect, or fun part of this effect. It is a hand trap as well. Yes, it's another hand trap, because if you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. Yeah, you can just do that. It is another one that is going to be something you have to look out for. Like I said, being a hand trap like that too is just insane. And it really is the best way to sum it up, is that it's an Effect Failure as a trap card that can also be used basically like Effect Failure can too from your hand. You just can't control any cards. It's really interesting because of that, and of course, being able to negate one of your opponent's monster's effects, you guys know how that can easily wipe out your opponent too. If they're bringing out one of their main cards, they're trying to set up something, negate, there you go. You can just disrupt their strategy really easily from that. Also too, did I mention this works really well with the Lair of Darkness cards? Because Lilith, Lady of Lament, can search for this too. So this is a card you can easily run at 3 with the new Lair of Darkness structure deck. And there you go. You have Lilith that can search for it. You can get it easily on your side of the field then. And that is insane in itself. So you can even call this support for Lair of Darkness, and it will more than likely be a pricier card of the set, but yeah, it is another one that is just insane, and it's one to look out for sure. Alright, now we're down to our number 1 card. What is it gonna be? I'm sure you guys already know what it's gonna be because you haven't seen this card on the list yet, and I'm sure everyone's wondering, you know, why didn't you talk about this card? Well, here it is. Say it with me. It is Nightmare Griffin. Yeah, it had to be. I mean, honestly, it had to be Nightmare Griffin. That has to be at least in the top 3 of everyone's list on this set, because this card is just insane. It's a card that can be used in basically any deck out there. You know, it's just a link 4 monster that you just need 2 monsters with different names to help link summon into it. Those are the only restrictions to it. So it's not just for nightmares, obviously. So just like with other nightmare monsters, you can throw it into just about any deck and it will be useful for you. And also, it's able to recycle spells and traps from your graveyard so you can use them again. That is really crazy because it doesn't even have a restriction on that either. So for example, you can get back Monster Reborn, Soul Charge. Let's see, it could be like a specific archetype card, or, you know, if you want to go with like one of your Solemns, or anything out there, Infinite Transience, you know, that is another card you can bring back with this. It is just insane because of that, and like I said, no restrictions either. So this is a card that, in my opinion, because it can be used in any deck, and also help with any deck because of being able to recycle a spell or trap card, it's one of the best link monsters that we have. I mean, it is just one of those cards you're going to want to have at least one of in every deck because it's so easy to bring out, and just being able to recycle spells and traps with any deck out there, whether it's an archetype-specific card or, you know, just like something simple like Monster Reborn, getting an extra Monster Reborn effect from that is good. So, yeah, in my opinion, it is the best card of this set, and I know that it's going to be very interesting to get. I'm hoping it's not going to be short printed because, again, it's a secret rare, but we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about my top 10 list. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? It's perfectly fine if you do. I mean, everyone has their own opinion from this set. I was mainly talking about the cards that I believe that will be the most useful for a lot of different decks out there. That was kind of one of the things I, took into account for this, and also that are just going to help out and we're going to see in the meta. There are still some other cards I really like from the set, too. Like, I love the new Goki support, and like I said, all the Nightmare cards are good, too, and I'm really looking forward to the new Cyber support as well. You know, there's some things I didn't name off in this, but when you have to choose 10, these are the 10 I went with. So, let me know, of course, down in the comments what you guys think. Of course, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more top 10 lists. I mean, it's pretty fun to record this. I haven't done one of these in a while, so let me know if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to see more of this in the future. And also, subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my videos, and be sure to ring that bell as well. So, again, you don't miss out on any videos. So, thank you guys for watching, and of course I will catch you guys later. See ya.